Weavers have always dealt with problems like this. Well, not just like this, but... yeah. We'll figure it out. Oria. She'll know what to do.
Hey.
Hey.
How do you feel?
Okay now, but it was touch and go for a while. Lane will probably never forgive me. For that matter, I might not either.
I knew that fight. The spindle, giving her life like that. It'd be on your mind all night. How could it not? And I've been mulling over what to tell you this morning. I had a speech planned, but you don't need a speech. You're like me. It'd ring false. So I'm going to tell you what I'd need to hear after something like that. You did good. It was an awful situation, but you stood up and did what needed to be done without hesitating. Not many people have that kind of grit.
You're right. I think that was what I needed to hear. Thanks, Oria.
You deserve it. You've come so far in here. We've all had to adapt, but you more than anyone. Look, I know you, Bryn. You're made of stern stuff. You've the mountains in your bones. Any sense of doubt or being shaken is just snowfall. Temporary, and it'll slide off soon.
That was the part you practiced, right?
Yes. But that doesn't make it less true.
Okay. Okay. Thoughts on what we do next? We obviously need to deal with that beast. But where to start?
We need to get everyone together. Our band, Arakim too. And I want you to call the meeting.
Me?
Yes, you.
Why do I feel as if I'm about to have my time wasted?
Please allow me to present my research. I promise it won't take but a moment. I've compiled a dossier concerning an event that occurred in the Enclave around 35 years ago.
And what event would that be, pray tell?
The attempt to pierce the veil. I can only assume you were familiar with the Verdant Mines.
The name rings a bell, though it's been decades, as you said.
They were the subject of many of your speeches. It's interesting that your memory on the subject is hazy.
You'll forgive me for not remembering the exact wording or subject of any of the hundreds of speeches I've delivered throughout my career.
That's not a problem. I can summarize my findings. Firstly, our evidence suggests, with a high level of confidence, that you were aware of the Verdant Mines' plans to pierce the veil. Secondly, in support of that assertion, you gained this knowledge through your close relationship with the enchantress known as Lucia.
I never knew any enchantress by that name.
That's odd, since you seem to have been a recurring character in her personal journals. Though, truth be told, she didn't seem particularly fond of you in the later entries. So, back to the attempt to pierce the veil. You knew?
I knew that it would go poorly.
You knew?
Of course I did. But what does it matter?
You could have stopped it.
But I didn't. Pray tell, Lawkeeper, what goal did you hold in your mind as you traveled here?
I wanted to learn the truth about the past, to uncover what had been hidden.
Lane Free Selectus. That's who you are, yes?
That's correct. Though, I'm not sure how... never mind. But my research...
House Lectus of Judea. It's no wonder you felt the need to make something of yourself. Well, today will not be that day. Nor, I believe, will any. I won't waste my breath debating a jumped-up little snot from a house so consumed by cupidity that it can't even keep its hearths lit. Once a failure of a house, always a failure of a house. And it shows in your insipid rag parading as research.
Did you just call me a jumped-up little snot?
No, I didn't. You must have misheard me.
I...
Will that be all from you? I have a daughter to grieve, after all.
Skies! That is enough. Lane deserves better than this disrespect.
You dare to speak of respect? You, who broke into our home, who undid Asylum, who attempts to destroy decades of societal progress.
I won't even address that. Your manipulation and arrogance are deadly. And I see your bare shoulders as proof.
Get out!
Bryn, thanks, but it's not worth it. I need to go.
Skies above. I was worried this would happen. Did I make it worse?
No. No, not at all. Not for a moment. You were very kind and strong and supportive and courageous. I just... It reminded me of why I left.
Home.
Everything back there was all about your house. Your actions or intent never mattered. And when I tried to forge a different path in life, the knives came out. I had no real choice but to leave. I thought I had left it all in my past. But now, here we are.
For years, no matter how hard I trained, my last mentor, Aaron, told me I wasn't strong enough to be a point. When he eventually named one of his friends, Aram, the Weaver Band's new point, I was gutted. Even though he had no training, Aaron tried to convince me it made sense. Aram is just physiologically stronger than me. Of course, I took the first chance to get out after that, just like you did. But until then, as much as I tried to ignore what Aaron was saying, a part of me was afraid he was right. Sometimes, when you're told the same thing over and over, you can't help but wonder if it's true. So, what I'm trying to say is that this guy has found his way inside your head. But that'll pass, and it doesn't reflect on the quality of your research.
I appreciate that. I'll try to internalize it. But for now, I think I just need to consider my next moves. It might take a while.
Take all the time you need.
Thanks, Bryn.
I know everyone's up in their heads right now, but we have real problems to solve. So let's clear the air.
Are you running this discussion, then?
She is.
Sev, this has to start with you. We knew you were working with the Eye. We told you we'd have your back. Help us understand what happened. Just breathe, Sev. Start from the beginning.
I'm sure Bryn and Sola told you all. But I belong to an order called the Norians. We're sometimes called the Watersmiths. Imagine my surprise to learn our talents had been critical to the construction of the tapestry. Our order binds us to always help another Norian. Especially a high-ranking one like Stanild. And to keep their secrets.
So that's how he sunk his claws into you.
The most important thing is whether we can trust you.
Yes, Sev. Convince us.
I swear, nothing I did was intended to cause harm. Too many of my order are political animals. But there is real good to be found among the Norians. Craftspeople who just wish to perfect their art. To bring, unfortunately, too many of those resources are controlled by people like Stan. They're all the same. They see a point of control. Water, information, wealth. And they abuse it. I thought the secrets were a necessary evil for some great purpose, but seeing his chokehold on the Enclave, it's stagnation. You all have every right to distrust me. I am sorry. No more secrets. I just can't do it anymore.
If you can't be a Norian, then what are you?
If you'd have me, I'd like to stay.
Those of us who have been here longer than Sev. Thoughts?
It's hard to have divided loyalties. But you did the right thing in the end, and if you hadn't, we might all be dead. That takes courage.
Still wasn't quick enough.
I don't know what to make of any of this. I want to believe you, but it's hard in the uncertainty surrounding us.
We've all had a very tough time since we came through the Veil. I would have grabbed for some kind of normalcy or order, too.
You are all heard. And I would add that you joined us under false pretenses, Sev. You had loyalties outside the band you never disclosed.
I have a hard time accepting that he kept so much from us, but shared so much with the Eye. Who knows what Stanild, or gods help us, the Talon heard about us? Only time will tell how much damage that's done.
Lane, I hear you and I understand. Sev has real work to do to rebuild trust. Only you can decide when the apology feels real to you. Sev, that considered, you have worked tirelessly since joining us, and demonstrated an enterprising spirit and deftness as a smith. And before the blade could completely fall, you risked all by blocking it with your own hand. You can never be a Norian again. I do not sense that you wish to be. And who are the Weavers but a group of outcasts and misfits, just trying to muddle through together? You will stay, and you will help. We have work to do. Tell us about Stanild's plan.
Thank you, Horia.
I'm sure we all have things we want to say, to Sev and each other. But that can wait. Right now, while we're all here together, we need to focus on next steps. But here's our challenge. That Talon. It spoke. It knew things it couldn't know about us. We're on the back foot and need to catch up fast.
Then let me, as Horia said, help. After I repaired the gate, Stanild took me completely into his confidence. He'd been questioning and learning from the Talon. Or so he thought.
Not realizing he was being manipulated.
He was increasingly estranged from his daughter. I'd wager he was desperate for a friend.
I'd agree. Based on what he'd learned from the Surgeborn from his friend, he put together a plan.
Use my people as a distraction to pull the bulk of the Surgeborn out of the underworks. Or while he used the gate to... what?
There is a place, deep, deep underground, known as the Source. A feat of engineering unparalleled. It's the secret to the Enclave's power. The abundance of magic. The heart of the tapestry. The thing powering the Veil. There was only a single loom gate still connected to the Source after Asylum cleared all connections.
The Grand Gate would take him right to the heart of things then.
Exactly.
Stanhild thought he could... what? Sneak down there and fix things somehow? Tear down the Veil?
His hope was to go down and secure a working space, sealed off from the distracted Surgeborn. He wanted to eventually fix things with the help of the Spindle. All glory to his family.
That arrogant idiot.
He'd read in his personal archives there was a system designed to shut down the Source. In the hopes of discovering how it worked, he had been feeding information to the Spindle about it in drips.
Meaning she might have been working on a fix for the Source without knowing it.
Then we have to pursue her research, clearly.
Good. But we still have the problem Stanhild never saw coming. A great Surgeborn.
Which almost certainly will be unkillable if it operates like every other Surgeborn. It's hard to imagine any place more full of tangles than the literal source of the magic that's overflowing.
On that, I have an idea. If I'm right, we might be able to turn the tables and remove its advantage. I'll need Bryn's help if that's all right with everyone.
Of course. If it gives us a chance, we have to take it.
I agree.
Has anyone just thought to ask the Talon?
What would we ask it? Favorite color? Favorite way to disembowel Ashar?
No, she's right. It has clearly demonstrated an interest in Bryn. Maybe she could pry some information out of it.
I'm not sure I'll get much. But I'm also sure I'm not going to think it's my friend. So, worth exploring?
Then we have a path forward. Sev will pursue his thoughts on dealing with that beast.
My people have started calling it the Herald.
Of destruction? Doom?
Why not both? As I said, people are on edge.
Fine. Sev pursues weakening this Herald. We work with the Axle to look into the Spindle's latest research. And if she feels like it, Bryn has a chat with our imprisoned Surgeborn.
As good a path forward as we are going to find. Let's call it here and get to work.
Bryn, I examined the wreckage at the Grand Gate after everything that transpired there.
Found something useful?
A kinetic strand, in fact. The Ark must have torn it from the Herald's pattern in the chaos of the battle.
Think we could weave it into my mantle?
I don't see why not. Its pattern appears to be quite similar to those found on wild creatures and Archons.
All right. We need every advantage.
Then let's get to work. Finished. This will be quite the powerful addition to your mantle.
How so?
This strand can twist kinetic magic into a tunnel. In battle, you could push debris or enemies through it and send them flying through the air quite forcefully.
Could I jump through it?
I suppose you could.
Hey, there's a lot of tall buildings, flying creatures. This is going to be great.
You're right. Just try to be careful.
Dried cotton for the balm.
I hate to do this when we're already dealing with something like 7 distinct major crises each day. I've got 2 pieces of bad news. Which one do you want to hear first?
The second one.
Excellent choice. We have a stove problem. We use specially enchanted coals to maximize burn time and minimize weight, and we're dead out of them. And second, the stove itself is dented. Rather badly.
What? How did that happen?
I don't know. I don't do stove maintenance. I'm the logistics girl. Maybe Sev sat on it.
He's still got bum fur, so if he did, it wasn't on.
Regardless, this is a Dam and Sola fix. 1 problem each.
I'm not sure they're in the best place right now.
That's why I'm asking you. They both love you, and can be grown-ups for the good of the group. Oria's already sick of salad.
Hey, mind if we talk somewhere private?
Lead the way.
I won't be returning to expeditions. I've known for a while now, but I couldn't bring myself to admit it. My days as Point are over.
I thought you were recovering from your injury.
Not as well as I should be. That I got injured at all was a sign that I'm not as fast as I used to be. I should count myself lucky. Not many Points get a career this long, but I'm not ready for this to end. Especially here, of all places. What kind of legacy is it to reach the Enclave only to sit by the fire?
But you've had an incredible career. And it isn't ending just because you can't go on expeditions.
I know, but it's not the same. And some part of me was hoping to end on a big score. I thought if I found out who my father was, if he turned out to be some great weaver like my mother, it's silly.
Tell me.
I thought I could solidify my legacy in history. Make sense of what my own contributions have been, if anything at all.
You're an incredible weaver in your own right. You don't need impressive parents to prove that. And if you had to pick your last act as Point, isn't finding your way into the Enclave the biggest score of all? You're everything I want to be.
That's very kind. Maybe in time I'll make peace with what my career has been. But for now, it's too raw.
Is there anything I can do?
Unless you can give me a few years back. This is grief I'll need to sit with for a while.
I understand. I wish there was something I could do to help Aurea see herself the way I see her. Lane knows a thing or two about recording legacies.
My hand is cramped. But the account of Oria's career is finished.
Great. I'll gather everyone if you're ready to present it.
I'll need to ice my quill hand. But, of course.
Let's hope she likes this.
She will.
What's going on?
We wanted to present the latest addition to Lane's archive to you, together. We all contributed, though credit goes to Lane for compiling and writing it.
I've titled it A True and Personal Account of Ayer Silverbeak Harpinay.
What is going on?
We wanted to do something special to commemorate your time as Point.
You didn't have to do all this.
We did. You've done more for each of us time and time again.
No one is more deserving of a place in Weaver history than you, Ayer.
So we took it upon ourselves to write you one.
As a thank you for everything.
I don't know what to say.
Lane, why don't you read just the opening?
Ayer Silverbeak, as she came to be known, was born to Sharian Harpinay and Eugenius Osphine inside the Enclave just before the Surge.
Osphine.
Though she never knew her father, her mother hoped Ayer would follow in her footsteps as a skilled enchantress within the Maida. But Ayer decided to become a Point, blazing her own trail. Something she would continue to do throughout her career, bigger and bolder each time. We'll let you read the rest on your own.
We hope this account will help you see yourself and your accomplishments the way we see you.
I'm at a loss. All I can say right now is thank you.
Bryn, I was so moved by what you did for Ayer. It's clear she means a lot to all of you.
Thank you. She does.
But her father, Eugenius Osphine, I know who he is.
You do?
Yes, and I want you to make an offering for his grave. I can give you a key swatch to reach it.
Wait, you know where it is?
I do. And I'm sure Ayer would love to watch you visit on the scry.
Okay, but shouldn't we tell her?
Trust me, this is something you should show her directly. Come back when you've got the offering and I'll give you the key swatch.
That tree still ripe with inspiration, Lane?
Hmm? Oh, yes, always.
One of Ayer's feathers would be beautiful as part of the offering for her father's...
What is it now?
I know we've had our differences, but your daughter was helping my friend before she...
Don't.
I was wondering if you could finish what she started. Our quartermaster is in a lot of pain. She's suffering from a condition called Era's Plague. I've brought everything needed to make a sleeping balm.
I suppose I can prepare the balm for you. Here you are. And I've written down the recipe for your alchemist so that you don't need to bother me again.
Thank you so much.
Have your quartermaster rub a little of the balm on her forehead, temples, and wrists before she goes to sleep. She'll fall into a deep slumber.
I hope she's willing to try this.
For what it's worth, I hope your quartermaster recovers.
Oh, thank you.
Is that all then? You've taken up enough of my time.
We all wanted to come together to support you, Casmin, however we can. Do you think you're ready to talk about what's going on?
I guess I have been feeling not so great lately. It's hard. I don't know how to tell you what's going on in my mind. Or if I even should.
We're not here to judge. We're here to listen.
You can tell us anything.
It started a while after we came through the Veil. Not right away. You all know me. I'm a rock in a crisis. But the aftermath... It's hard for me to come down. Actually, I crashed to pieces in it. I should be stronger, but...
You are strong, Kaz. Falling apart sometimes doesn't change that.
Yeah. It doesn't feel like it these days. After the Surgeborn escaped, I just started getting these... thoughts. Visions. So vivid, they feel like premonitions. Our campsite, being razed to the ground in the night. Scrambling to find our gear under attack. Each of us being killed, one by one. And this voice, howling in my ear that it will all be my fault. Unless I do everything in my power to prepare us for it. I know that sounds crazy. But these visions and that voice, it's been getting louder. It keeps me awake all hours of the night. By dawn, everyone else is asleep, even Dam. I'm alone and exhausted. Counting supplies over and over and over, unable to stop.
That must be lonely.
It is. Opening up to you about this is physically painful. Even while we're talking, that voice keeps going. In the spaces between my words, in every pause, it howls at me for being pathetic and incompetent. How come I'm the only one drowning inside this place? No matter what happens, all of you are able to keep doing your jobs. I mean, I'm the only freak going off the deep end. How stupid is that?
You're going through something awful, outside of your control. And until now, you've dealt with it alone. But your decision to be vulnerable and share your experiences with us, that's brave, not stupid.
I don't feel brave. I feel exhausted and sad.
What if we cleaned out the caravan for you while you go rest? Bryn will sit with you until you fall asleep.
I don't know. I don't think I can sleep right now.
I have something that will help. A sleeping balm from the Eye, of all people.
Would you be open to trying it?
Maybe, but I'm afraid of what will happen if I go to sleep.
I won't let anything happen. I promise. Do you trust me?
I do. But I've made such a mess of the caravan. I can't let you guys be the ones to clean it up.
We've got this, Casmin. It's okay.
I'm all right. Thank you. This isn't working. I should go help with the caravan.
Shh. Kaz, they're fine. You need to sleep.
But what if Aurea throws away the grains Dan likes for breakfast? Or the sapling uses to rebind her books? Or...
She won't.
I can't just lie here. My skin is crawling. I feel like I might burst if I don't move.
How about we breathe together? Just try it with me.
Fine.
I'm going to let Arik power the scry for your run with the blue Bryn.
Appreciate it, Aurea.
You could use the practice.
That might be Isla's secret refuge. It's actually not too far from Lucia's workshop. Isla dedicated her life to restoring the arcs. Darn's right. We will need to continue her research. But a toy Archon. That's sweet. Darn, do you think this could work for the Rite of Ashes?
It's perfect.
Huh. Isla also had a copy of On the Workings of Archons, marked with annotations, just like Lucia's. Wait, I'm losing you.
You hear me better now?
Yeah. Weird. The scry was cutting out.
Strange. At any rate, the book could be useful. Once you've completed the ritual, I'll take a look.
A letter from the Axel. I should take it back to her.
Hold on, hold on.
I'll need to place the toy ark on the high pyre. This place never fails to impress. Just imagine it before the veil went up. Wouldn't have had to scavenge for alchemically treated coal at any rate. Sad to burn such a sweet toy. Now to collect the ashes. Though the flame abates and the ash grows cold, let she who worshipped you rest in eternal warmth.
Beautiful, Bryn.
Sure, islands.
There it is again. The scry is cutting in and out. Dom? Aurea?
We're... Can you hear me now?
You're back.
While you bring the ashes to Cassidon's hold, I'll analyze the scribe. Something strange is afoot.